Welcome back to the Wake Man channel. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to talk about my new ballast bags. And just a little reminder, I did just launch my new website with merchandise, wakemann.com. So if you're interested in supporting the channel or just want some nice t-shirts or hoodies, make sure to go check it out. So I'm pretty excited. I did mention back when I bought this 2019 G23 that because of the setup, because there's so much below deck ballast, water ballast, and because it does not have plug and play like Malibu does, for bags in the back, that I planned on doing some sort of steel shot bag or lead shot bag for ballast in this boat to add additional weight. And keep in mind, the reason why I add extra weight is because most of the time when I'm wakeboarding or wake surfing, it's usually just my wife and my daughter in the boat. And right now that's probably about 150 pounds. So for a long time now, I've thought of additional ballast. And when I say additional ballast, I mean additional to the stock ballast. I think of it as people replacement weight. So the capacity of this boat is 16 people, and I can't remember the exact weight limit for people on the boat. But basically what that means is you can have up to 16 people, and it's probably near 2,000 pounds in the boat, and that would add additional weight and make a bigger wake and wave. And because I don't often have a bunch of people in my boat, and it's mostly my wife and my daughter in the boat, I always like to have extra weight in the boat to basically simulate people being in the boat so that I have those biggest wakes and waves that I can get. So for my 2019 G23, and also what I will use in my 2022 build, when I get that, I looked all over and looked at the different brands, and I went ahead and bought some ballast bags back when I could get a Black Friday deal, which obviously is the best time of the year to buy most things. I ended up going with a brand of bag that maybe not all of you are choosing yet. And my reason for that is because these things are pretty expensive. They range anywhere from, you can get like what I've seen, like a rucksack bag where you can like take it to the beach and fill it up with rocks and sand, which kind of has a neat function. Or you can like get your own sand at the store and fill it up. And those, you can buy the empty bag for like 25 bucks a piece, or you can buy it filled for, I think it's like 45 or something like that a piece. Then the next step up is steel shot bags. The steel shot bags are generally somewhere around $59.99 a bag. And that's for 50 pounds, I'm sorry. That's generally for 50-pound bags. The rucksack bags are like 45-pound bags because steel shot weighs more than sand and rocks. And then you have lead wake, where they're using lead shot, and those are generally $62 to $63 a bag. And what I found is with most of these companies making these products, if you buy a set of 10, they give you an extra discount. So what I ended up choosing is the steel shot bags from wakelife.co. And that is wakelife.co, not wakelife.com. I've gotten tripped up on that. Other people that I know have gotten tripped up on that. So their bag is a steel shot bag, and I'm about to show you that here. And I'm pretty excited to share with you that we've actually partnered, and anybody who wants to buy product from them, I have been provided a promotional code from wakelife.co specific to the Wake Man channel. So if you use WakeMan15, you can get 15% off of most things on their website, including the steel shot bags. So that means if you get a 10-pack and you get the discount for getting a 10-pack, then you can use the 15% discount code on top of that. So that's a great deal. You can use that any time of the year. The only time of the year that you might get a better deal on those bags is going to be Black Friday. And you are welcome to share that code with whoever you like. And I'll mention it in several videos. I'm going to try to do several videos on these bags, and I'll explain that. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to kind of show you the bags. So here are some of my bags. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I've got 3 more on the back of the boat, and then there's one right here. What I will tell you about This style of bag is, they get shipped in an if it fits it ships box, and I think that's common across all of the different brands. And during the holiday season, I think they get beat around extra, but I think in general, because they weigh so much, they get pretty well tossed around in shipping. So it's not uncommon to have one of your bags bust open. But Wake Life Co. has been super cool. They are actually replacing that bag for me, and they're going to replace a couple other bags because the thread on some of the seams looked like it got a little roughed up, and I'll show you some of that. But they've been super cool to work with on that. So I think with any of those brands, you just got to be prepared for the fact that that could happen, but just make sure that the company is great and works with you on it. All right, so you can see that it comes with a nice handle here, and this is how you would pick it up and move it around. Typically, I think what you'd do is you'd find a spot in your boat and you'd place it there and leave it there. But what I'm going to do in my boat is I'm going to have probably somewhere in the range of 300 to 400 pounds in the bow, another third or so of the weight in the middle of the boat, and then another third at the back of the boat. I know that there are ways that you can put these bags below the deck, but I'm not going to do that just because it is not suggested that these bags get wet all the time. They are weatherproofed, and actually wakelife.co has already come out with a new design where they're sealed on the inside. So if you're buying bags at the time of this video or after this video, then they'll be even more waterproof. But it's still not recommended that the bag be in a place that it's gonna be basically wet all the time. So a lot of times below deck, that's where all the water that might get in your boat drains to. So I'm gonna be putting mine above deck in different places. So keep that in mind. This is really durable, like canvas-like material. They actually spray it to weatherproof it, and now they actually have the steel shot sealed inside of a plastic material inside. They're actually going to send me some of those new bags, and because I actually bought these before they started doing that, they're going to send me some of those new bags that are sealed with plastic, and I'm going to check those out and do another video on those. What I'm gonna do when my season starts is my first trip out with this boat, I'm actually gonna go out with none of the steel shot because I wanna see what the wake and wave is like without it. And then the next trip out, I'm either gonna take all of it or I'm gonna take half of it and then kind of do another step of seeing how much difference that makes, and then go out again with all of it. And the reason why I might split it up is because I have heard that there is a point with Nautique where you can overdo it. Although in my experience with other wake boats, I kind of doubt that. I bet the more weight you add until you get over the capacity of the boat, that might be where you could overdo it, is where you get over the capacity of the boat. So in total, I actually bought 20 of those. So I will have 1,000 pounds that I'm going to be putting in the boat. One of my concerns, and one of the things you should take into consideration when getting bags like this, is the fact that typically you put them in the boat and they stay in there and you're trailering the weight back and forth to the lake, whereas water weight is dropped at the lake and then picked back up when you get back to the lake. So you're not putting that extra stress on the trailer. So one of the things I'm going to be watching closely is, how my trailer handles. And is it too much weight for the trailer? And that's kind of why I picked 1,000 pounds. I might have gone a little more, or I might have gone a little less, depending on what I thought the trailer could handle. So keep that in mind. Like I said, I am getting some more bags, so I will determine whether or not I want to add another couple hundred pounds, but some of that's going to be based on what the trailer can do. Another cool thing about these bags is it's pretty common for people to put weight in the back of their pickup during the winter to help with traction, and you can actually use these bags to do that too. But again, I would suggest you keep them out of the weather because obviously things deteriorate faster whenever they're wet and or see the sun a lot. So probably would work best if it was in a scenario where you had a tonneau cover, or maybe if you're putting it in a car, it's in the back of your hatchback so they're out of the weather. One of the things I'm going to do here for you is I'm going to weigh a couple of these. All right, I also wanted to show you what the steel shot actually looks like in the bag, because there's a couple of things I was pretty surprised about with these bags, and I would say pleasantly surprised. I looked at these pretty closely in comparison to the lead wake bags, and I was concerned that these were going to be pretty big. And you can kind of see, you know, I do have large hands, but you can kind of see, I mean, they're probably maybe at the most like 2.5, 3 inches thick, and then probably around a foot long. And then I think probably like 9 inches this way, or maybe 10 inches this way. So they're actually smaller than I thought they would be, which was nice. I was happy about that, because obviously one of the reasons to do this style of ballast bag is not only just because you don't have plug and play on a boat, but it takes up a lot less space than water does. So it leaves a lot more room for locker space. And when I go out and use these for the first time, I'm going to show you that in a future video. But one of the things I wanted to show you as well is, so because this one in here broke open, and it simply, and I don't want to pull it out of here because it just makes more of a mess, but it simply broke open at one of these seams, and I'm sure it was from getting beat around. I can imagine like maybe a forklift like stuck a fork in the side of the box or something like that. Probably something simple to that effect. But in any case, it was kind of cool because I got to see what's in the bags, and I want to give you a nice close-up of this and show you that these are the tiniest little steel balls, and hopefully that's coming up clear. It's hard for me to tell on this camera, but these are the tiniest little steel balls, and I would say comparatively, I've looked at a couple of different companies, like the lead shot companies and the other companies that are doing steel shot, and what I've seen is that it looks like in their pictures that the steel shot or lead shot is more like half of my pinky nail size, or maybe a third of my pinky nail size. So the advantage to steel shot that looks like this, that's this small, is the fact that you can put more weight in a smaller size bag. Definitely lead compared to steel is heavier. So that was one of the things I was looking at as far as comparisons, you know, and how much space it's going to take up. But again, I was pleasantly surprised with the steel shot bags, and I think a lot of that has to do with the size of the steel shot. Very, very tiny little beads. So I thought that was very cool. And this cup is very, very heavy. I feel like this is what it might feel like if you had a cup of gold or something like that. So it's pretty cool. And I'm actually going to save this steel shot and this bag, and I might use this or maybe repair the bag or use it for extra weight in one way or another. So another way I'm going to use these bags is I'm probably going to keep 2 of these near the driver's seat or just across from it, so I can use these bags to quickly adjust the wake. Pretty good, because it's pretty common that you have like one person sitting over here and maybe a small person sitting over here, and you need to offset the weight so that your wakes are clean on both sides. And that's something that much more finicky when you're trying to set up a wakeboard wake. But also very usable with a wake surf wake. And what is typical with most wake boats is one side of the wave usually does better than the other, and you can counteract that by putting a little bit of extra weight on the side that it's not doing so great. So I'll be doing that as well. So in addition to all the things I've covered so far, one of the biggest reasons I went with the wakelife.co steel shot bags is because they are some of the most reasonably priced bags. If you go and you buy 10 bags, their discount is very, very reasonable. And especially the fact that you can use my WakeMann15 discount code, you're going to get a great price on these compared to the rest of the brands that are out there. So you can save some serious money on it, especially when you buy 20 bags. I saved a couple $100s on these compared to some of the other brands. So that was a big thing to me because they are pricey. All right, so that's it for this week's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you can be notified of my future videos. I'll see you next week.